Welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel. Manchester United transfer news, and it's a big one surrounding Harry Maguire. The Guardian are reporting that the deal is off to West Ham. Other reports are conflicting as well, just saying that the deal is stalled and it could happen at a later date. We want your thoughts and opinions in on this one in the chat, and we will discuss throughout the video, and also some news surrounding last night's game with the referees being dropped for the next round of fixtures. First of all, yeah, it's got to be Harry Maguire. Give us your overall thoughts on this one to kick us off.
Well, I've got loads of thoughts on this one, and I'm sure plenty of views out there as well. But what I will do, I'll start with going back to what I said last week when the deal was offered. It looked like Maguire was going to go to West Ham. I said for this deal to go through, there has to be compromise. And compromise is what I've seen. I've seen United offer Maguire, all reports, that he was going to get a payoff by Man United. United made it easy by accepting £30 million for an £80 million player, what we bought. And now, because he's got to West Ham, the media out there all think he's a great player. The compromise is not there from Harry Maguire, clearly, as I see it. And Harry Maguire has got answers what need answering, questions what need answering. Absolute disgrace that this deal never went through at the weekend. It was a simple deal to be done.
You're talking about payoffs from Manchester United, and that's what a lot of the reports are saying out there, roughly around about £7 million. That's not really up to Manchester United to pay Harry Maguire off. I know he's still got a contract left at Manchester United. He will take a drop in wages, but surely that's up to West Ham to dig deep into their transfer kit and maybe give him a signing-on bonus or something like that.
I agree with you, but the thing is, United are desperate to get him out. United want some money in so they can go and start buying another centre-half. Harry Maguire is holding the deal up, and it is not up to Manchester United to pay him off. And that's what I was saying last week about compromising. United have gone overboard here, right, in helping Harry Maguire establish himself back on the football pitch and making sure that he gets football and that he gets his England career back on track. Harry Maguire is doing absolutely nothing to get out or compromise. United there, like you say, it's not up to them to do it. West Ham should throw something in the mix. They're not. They're just doing the £30 million, getting an international centre-half for England, cheap. United are bending over backwards and are desperate to get him out. And I swear to God, right, Harry Maguire, he's playing with fire here.
Yeah, we've been saying that Manchester United are compromising, bending over backwards. Can we bend over that a little bit more and maybe compromise with the fee? Let us know what you think. Should they accept a lesser fee, and then, you know, the remaining, let's say if they take £25 million, you know, that £5 million up to the 30 is then given to Harry Maguire to subsidise his wages on the length of his current deal at United?
I think there comes a time when people are compromising, and then you've got someone stubborn, and you have to turn around and say, look, you're pulling my pants down here big time. And I need to pull my pants back up. And you, son, are not compromising, so my pants are back up, and you're staying. And it wouldn't shock me. No, it wouldn't shock me if United turned round and played the big club card and said, look, you are not making a compromise. You're the one what's rubbish, not us. You're the one what's rubbish. You're the one not performing, and now you're trying to pull our pants down. Well, here, we're going to pull your pants down. You're in the squad, and that's it. And you're not going on the bench. You're not starting because you're not good enough. And I think United should make a stand here with Harry Maguire if he doesn't make a compromise. Accept the payoff and go. Everyone out there in the media I've been seeing saying Harry Maguire, now he's going to West Ham, he's a great player. Well, Harry, go to West Ham. No, they are, though.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Because he's not at Man United, or they're thinking he's not going to be at Man United. Harry Maguire, for some reason in the media, has become this great centre-half for England and football in the Premier League. I don't see it. Lots of yous out there don't see it. So, Harry, just get off, take the money and run. And just be happy. Don't stay here and be abused. Something is definitely wrong with Harry Maguire when he thinks he wants to stay here and take all the criticism and abuse, and it will be piled on more and more each week the longer he stays here.
Look, this is just one of the fallouts of under the Ed Woodward reign
Yeah.
of big transfer fees, big wages paid. So let's have it right, just average players. And if Harry Maguire does end up staying here, you know, we go past September the 1st, that transfer window slammed shut. What do you do with Harry Maguire? Do you put him in the matchday squads? What do you do? What would the atmosphere be like in and around the dressing room? Because he don't strike me, looking from the outside in, as though someone who would make trouble in the dressing room. But, you know, how does that go and play going forward under Erik ten Hag?
I don't know. You don't play him. Simple as.
But do you have him in and around the squad still? Do you have, you know, what do you do? Because Erik ten Hag, let's have it right, clearly doesn't want him at Manchester United. There's reports out there being linked to Pavard, Todibo, etc., to come and replace him already. So he clearly doesn't want him. But what do you do with him then going forward?
You just get him out. You just put him down well below and you teach him a lesson. Say, there you go, because you're not in the squad. No player will respect him because they know he's not part of the future. Manchester United going forward here now, Harry Maguire to sell, right, and then use that money to go and buy Pavard. It's there. The deal is being talked about. The player wants to come to United. Harry Maguire is stopping United progressing when he has no future here. So what you do is you teach him a lesson. You say, right, we're the big club. You've played silly games. This is how it is. We're not playing you anyway. So get out the squad and go and play with the juniors. That's what I would do. And I've seen time and time again, not just United, other clubs do it with players who are just being absolutely bang out of order. And Harry Maguire is being bang out of order, pushing this. He might be trying to push it to the limit and then give in. Well, you're making a mockery of Man United, you're making a mockery of the transfer system, and you're actually hindering United purchasing a player so they can move forward.
Is he not right, though, Harry Maguire? He's still got a contract at Manchester United. You know, on big wages, you know, it's Manchester United looking from the outside in who are trying to force him out. He might not really want to go. It's Manchester United, let's have it right. Would he rather sit on the bench than go and play for a lesser team? You know, that's Harry Maguire's decision. But is he not right then, you know, kind of wanting a payoff in terms of money when he's being forced out of the club?
I've never seen Harry Maguire being forced out of this team. Harry Maguire has forced himself out of this team by constantly by not improving. United have played him game after game. They give him opportunities, right? And it's Harry Maguire and his performances, right? And his lack of learning, right, going forward. He has not learnt from the mistakes. It is Harry Maguire's own situation he's created, just not good enough. Now United are moving him on. He can't be in the squad. No player out there will look at him and respect him as part of the squad. I certainly wouldn't, and I'm sure if you look at Rojo, who left, Rojo just absolutely slammed him under Ole Solskjaer, and I'm sure plenty of players there in the dressing room privately will be doing exactly the same, as if to say, what are you doing here? They know he's not part of the team. They don't even talk to him. That's how I see it. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, just going to dive back into the chat, get your thoughts and opinions in. Anything else you want to talk about as well, get it in. We'll discuss throughout the video. Jam United says, don't get all the hate for Maguire. Is he good enough? Probably not. But at least he gives his all, unlike some of the posers we've got. Rashford last night, for example, waste of a jersey. Pretty strong opinion there on Rashford, mate. But you got any thoughts and opinions on that comment?
That's on a player. On a player, I'm looking at the bigger picture. This is Manchester United trying to go forward, move a player on what clearly hasn't got a future here. Maguire knows he's not got a future here, so why play the games? Move on, take your payoff, good money. What's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with that. Maguire's just not good enough. There's no hate here. It's an observation with your eyes. That's what I'm doing. I've just let Harry Maguire know, as far as I'm concerned, he's not good enough. And if he was good enough, he'd be in the team. He needs to move on. It's as simple as that. He is holding up the future development of Manchester United, right? And he won't compromise. Everyone in life has to compromise. Harry's not, and I don't know what his game is because it does not make sense. He wants to play football so he doesn't lose his England place. He's being given a good opportunity by going to West Ham, and people think that's a great opportunity. I've not seen anyone say that's a bad move, Harry Maguire. So footballing terms, everything there's for him. So why is he holding it up, and why is he not making compromise? there's something wrong with Harry Maguire not wanting to get out there and play football.
You say it's a good move for Harry Maguire. West Ham and Maguire fit like a glove. But maybe Harry Maguire's thinking, hang on a minute, I'm in England international, still at a prime age. I deserve a better club, bigger club.
No, well, where's the club? There is no club.
I know, I'm just saying, could he be thinking that as well?
Well, if he's thinking that, he's deluded. And I've called Harry Maguire sometimes and some other people deluded. And if that is the case, he thinks he's waiting for a bigger club. Absolutely deluded. Harry Maguire will not get a bigger club. And if there was a bigger club out there, they would have come in for him. So Harry Maguire just has to look at what's out there. And what's out there is a good opportunity for him to carry on playing football, or there is no international career.
Yeah, some good points there. Let us know what you think as well. Get stuck into that one. Just going to reel off 2 or 3 comments in the chat. Get involved with your opinions. The life of Riley, this could end up getting toxic. Well, it is 100% going to get toxic. Even 1,000%, he says. Randy Savage, West Ham are offering 100k a week. Not as though it's a minimum wage. Still a lot of money in it, but he's taking a drop from what he is on at Manchester United. That surely has to be put into account there.
And that's what the payoff is from Man United, and that's what I keep saying. There has to be a compromise. You don't get everything in life, right, when 3 people, West Ham, Man United and Harry Maguire, all disagree on certain things. And you all have to come, and it's called business, right? And Harry Maguire is in the business of football, of earning money, and you have to compromise. His value, his stature as a footballer when he first signed for Man United has gone down so far, and it is so clear to everybody that the wages he is on at Manchester United, his talent is not worth that. So move on, Harry, take the payoff, and then go and carry on with your international career. And hopefully you do well for West Ham. And if you don't do well for West Ham, then clearly Man United made a mistake in signing Harry Maguire.
Yeah, going back to that previous comment, saying it could end up getting toxic. Jedi Knight in the chat says, we will be paying Harry 6 million to go, and it's worth every penny. Is it worth every penny as well, though? You know, if he does stay at Manchester United, that transfer window closes. You know, more often than not, journalists are going to be asking Eric Ten Hag the difficult questions on, you know, how's it going with Harry Maguire? How's his, you know, morale in the changing room, etc. There will be constant questions to Eric Ten Hag, won't there?
Yeah,
you won't need that.
Yeah, listen, it will be toxic, and at the end of the day, any toxicity will be because of Harry Maguire's stance, okay? And it doesn't make sense. The toxicity will become more and more because he, like I've said just before, he's stopping, right, money coming into the club, what can be used to improve the team. We can't buy until we sell, and we've targeted Harry Maguire, and Ten Hag doesn't want him. If he wanted him, he'd have played him. He's not playing him, he's not good enough. But he's there, targeted him to use that money for another player, and them conversations have gone on for the centre-half from Bayern Munich, and he's ready to come here. But United cannot buy him until they've got money in the kitty, simple as. So it will get toxic in certain quarters. But when will we see Harry Maguire put a shirt on? Yeah. Harry Maguire shouldn't be putting a shirt on. I said it before. He has to go. Harry Maguire's career is finished here. And if he can't see that, and I go back to it, then he must be absolutely deluded.
Yeah, you go back on his performances last season. What did he play? Roughly 16 games for Manchester United. And I think Victor Lindelof's performances towards the end of the season merit him being above Harry Maguire. Luke Shaw as well. So surely he's looking at things like that in the squad, looking at his own performances, you know, in the last 12 to 18 months minimum.
Okay.
And just thinking, I need to go to resurrect my career and make sure I'm on that plane to play for England next summer as well.
I'll say this, it's absolutely nothing to do without football. Nothing to do with football whatsoever, this. His career, playing for England or anything like that. This is the same old thing, recurring its head again, the ugly animal. It's all about money. So anyone what turns around and says it's Harry Maguire's career, his England career, anything like that, this deal is not going through for one simple reason. It's about money, not football. And that is the sad state of affairs, what we've come to with this deal, and I'm sure will come again, this incident about money and about wanting to play. It's nothing to do with football. If it was to do with football, I would, and many other people would jump at the chance of playing in the Premier League with a side what thinks it's up and coming. That's That's someone's opinion, not mine. But the thing is, it's about money, right? He wants to have this stature of playing for England. Playing for England, you have to play football. So it's clearly he doesn't want to play football. He doesn't want to move on.
By all accounts as well, he could end up being the West Ham captain as well if he moved there. That's a possibility.
Good luck to West Ham on that one.
Okay. Any West Ham fans watching and want to know your opinion, to be honest. Jam United, it looks like you've got your back up against the wall here, mate, with other people in the chat.
That's fine.
No, he's giving in his opinion, and it's quite rightly so. You stick to your opinions, no matter whether you agree with us or not. But he says, some right clowns on here, happy to watch players going through the motions, but slag off players who at least try. Maybe I'm just too old school.
No, you're not too old school. What you're doing is you're bringing two different arguments into one. What you've seen the players on the pitch do last night, because I think you referred to it before, and you're bringing it into the Harry Maguire conversation. Harry Maguire tries as much as those players tried on the pitch last night. Last night was clearly not good enough, okay? They didn't look fit, they didn't look sharp. It's as though like the pre-season hasn't got them ready. Clearly, Wolves was the first team what they've come up against who, for 90 minutes, had the speed, the energy and everything. And United were caught out through their lack of fitness.
Sorry to interrupt. When we're talking about the Wolves game, do you think Harry Maguire sat on the bench was thinking he could have give a better performance than, let's say, Lisandro Martinez did in that first half?
Harry Maguire, in my opinion, thinks he's an absolutely great footballer, okay? And Harry Maguire will be getting pushed from his own circle, saying, you're worthy of this, you're worthy of that.
Do you think that's the big problem as well? The people around him, his team, are probably not giving him the, the hard facts, the cold truth about where he's up to as a football player and what he actually is in terms of levels, and they're not being truthful with him. So, they're all just saying, yes, Harry, no, Harry sort of thing.
Yeah, but his team around him are not being truthful with anyone that they came out. They're playing a silly game as well, and their only interest is money as well. They came out, I think it was yesterday, if I'm correct on it, they turned around and said Harry Maguire and his camp have come out and said that they are unaware that West Ham have put a bid in for Harry Maguire of £30 million. They have not been informed. That is coming out from the Harry Maguire camp. Well, to me, that is games, stupid games, immature to its highest level. Unbelievable, that statement, if I'm correct, what came out yesterday. So they're all playing games, and I go back to it, it's not about football, it's about money. And that's the state that we've come to at the moment, and it's wrong, absolutely wrong.
Do you think it's also games with, in the Guardian's report and other newspapers saying West Ham are actually looking at alternative targets other than Harry Maguire, or do you think that's just a part of the game, to push Manchester United to sort of deal out with Maguire and paying him paying a bonus, paying up some of his wages kind of thing?
I think United have done everything. I think it's just United what have compromised here, to be honest with you, with the fee, with the payoff, done everything right, done everything to get his move. I think everyone around Harry Maguire, Maguire himself, is only one thing, and it's money. But United have wiped the mouth, offered the payoff. So really, can West Ham up it? I don't know. Should they do it? But at the end of the day, Harry Maguire knows everything what's going on, and they're trying to tell us that they know nothing about a £30 million deal what's been offered. So to me, games are being played. It's embarrassing from Maguire's camp, and I'm getting sick of it, to be honest with you. And they need calling out, and quite rightly so, because they're hampering.
Do you think Eric Ten Hag's getting sick of it as well? I started seeing... in his last press conference before the Wolves game, him sort of open up a little bit on Harry Maguire, and basically if he can't fight, he doesn't want to fight, he needs to go, and he was sort of letting out a little bit more than he normally would. Yeah, well, it's coming to a head, but the thing is, if you're seeing chinks in Eric Ten Hag coming out with things, imagine what it's like in the squad. We all know what it's like when you're there and you're the tension.
Well, not just that, the butt of fun. You're the butt of all the jokes. Everyone's calling you, everyone's slagging you, right? And he will be getting that. He might be getting some to his face, but he knows it's behind his back because he reads all the reports, right? And if you're playing with someone, right, who's doing your head in, who doesn't do things right on the pitch and constantly is not learning and is getting worse, then at the end of the day, you shun him. It's the Lord of the Jungle out there in any walk of life, right? The group shuns the individual who's been made the butt of all the jokes, okay? Because you end up giving him the joke.
With the wrong,
well,
same brush,
you use him as a clown, right? And then what tends to happen is the clown tends to wander off. That's what happens in life. And Maguire is there. He's isolated in there. He's not in a group. He's got no authority. He's got no one to talk.
Last year, you know, when we played the semis against Brighton and Bruno was captain, you know, it went into extra time. You've seen all the team huddle. You've seen Bruno come over, you know, giving his orders out, you know, geeing his team up. And you've seen Harry Maguire. I felt sorry for him at the time. I cringed, you know, him on the sideline, just on his own, like you say, isolated away from the actual group who were playing.
That's his own fault. It's, you know, he was given the captaincy. He should never have been given the captaincy. So when I say that's his own fault, pressure was put on him and he wasn't able to handle it. We've clearly all seen that. And you clearly seen the demise towards the end of Ollie's reign. But when Ranić came in, he was absolutely not a leader. No one talked to him. No one discussed anything. He was all isolated.
Is that because we had big characters in that dressing room like Ronaldo? He was probably the main man in the dressing room. People maybe looked up to, maybe wouldn't even say boo to. And, you know, you've got Harry Maguire there, captain. Ronaldo's looking at him as to say, like, who are you? And since then, people have had that stuck in the memory as though, like, look...
No, I think what it is, a lot of people use Ronaldo, right, as the trigger for it. I think all professionals in any sport, any elite sport, look round, right, and they look to the captain, right, to inspire and everything else like that. So I think it was a group thing where people just went, what are you talking? I don't get you at it. I just don't understand where you're coming from. There's no leadership qualities.
The captain has to lead with the performances as well, though.
Not just his performances, and with the captain at a football club, a lot of it is all about around, in the dressing room, outside the dressing room, in and around the stadium, on the way to travelling and things like that. It's all about how you conduct yourself, your presentation, your media work, everything else like that. And Harry Maguire has failed on every level. So I think all the professionals within the club over a period of time slowly just start dismissed Harry Maguire. That's a fact. It's something you've seen, I've seen with your own eyes over a period of time. The stature of Harry Maguire went from there to there, gradually to where it is now. And where it is now is all about money. That's what Harry Maguire's thinking about, not his career.
Yeah, it is kind of falling off a cliff for him. Just going to go back into the chat. Sahaj Shetty says, it is an absolute disgrace that this man was our captain. He has no spine to take us... Oh, what does it say? He has no spine to take a tough challenge and now holds the club at ransom.
I think when
sad,
he
says.
Yeah, I think when you look at Harry Maguire, you can't blame Harry Maguire fully for it. He was given a job what he wasn't suited for. So Ollie put him in that position. Maybe not just Ollie, there was other people around. What made him the captain, and what it is, it's their lack of knowledge and understanding of a player around him and what was needed for Manchester United. So they actually failed Manchester United by appointing Harry Maguire. You can't put all the blame on Harry Maguire. The pressure came on Harry Maguire when he clearly didn't need it. He needed time, more time to settle in to Manchester United, more time to understand Manchester United, but he wasn't given that time because by giving the pressure of being captain of Manchester United, his head must have been battered, and I don't think he fully recovered from it.
No, that's spot on.
And that's me being fair to Harry Maguire. You know, being fair to Harry Maguire, being appointed the captain, I can see why it wasn't the right thing, but I can also see the football side of it as well. So they're two different things. You can see the pressure was on Harry Maguire, and some people can handle it and some can't. But I do believe that Harry Maguire was actually given the captaincy at the wrong time. Whether down the line he might have been capable, I don't know. But there's other people culpable for the situation Harry Maguire's in.
Yeah, just going to dive back into the chat, get your thoughts and opinions in. I am so damn tired of having sagas this season. Eric Ten Hag needs to drop Maguire into the reserves. Let him truly know he's simply won't be playing a single minute in this season's games, and that's from Ant in the chat. Cheers, mate.
I think he's already. I think Harry Maguire already knows that, and Ten Hag's let him know and let the squad know that you're not welcome in the team. You're not part of the future. I think we all know that. United accepted a bid of 30 million and are willing to pay him off. So there's no hiding the fact you're not playing at Manchester United. You're not the future of Manchester United.
Yeah, diving back into the chat again. Zay Miasa, cheers for your super chat, and everyone else.
Thank you very much.
Paid today, much appreciated. Why are all these English players overpriced? Maguire, Sancho, Mount, even Declan Rice. Are you still confident for your London trips to North London? You're saying, the Arsenal fan.
Why are all these English players overpriced? Well, Coutinho was overpriced. Caicedo's overpriced. Yeah. If you look at him who used to play for Chelsea, went to Real Madrid, Hazard, overpriced. So, you're biased towards, your anti-English stance, you need to calm down on it, and vice versa with other people as well. Listen, overvaluation, you ain't seen nothing yet. It's going to get worse as time goes on. Whether they're English, bringing the foreigners in, or anything like that, that's how it's going to be. I think every player is overpriced as it is, because if you're paying £115 million for Caicedo, then the world's gone mad. But it's going to get madder, and we're just going to have to put up with it. But there will be a reckoning. When that reckoning is, I don't know, but it will come, and maybe come sooner than many of us think.
Yeah, I think we've discussed it on previous videos with Maguire, and that incident that went on in Mykonos in the summer, must have had a big impact on him mentally then going into the season. And Richard Club Sports says the Greek holiday saga showed his arrogance, though.
I think it's shown all sides of him. I don't think it just shown the arrogant side of him. I just thought he was clueless in every aspect of it, and was still clueless after it, the way he treated it. Because he wants to appeal, he wants to do this, and the way he spoke about it, and the way the incident started, and why it started. So
you think he was... the arrogance coming while he was on holiday, thinking he could just walk around, do whatever he wants on holiday, and he'd be left alone and everything would be all right?
That's the clueless what coming in. He represents Manchester United, and anyone what represents Manchester United cannot walk around in public on a holiday, going from bar to bar, thinking that no one's going to mind him. That was the clueless bit. But also, that's the fault of the people what put him in charge as well, because they should have been able to see that Harry Maguire was clueless in the understanding of what Manchester United means worldwide, wherever you go, and what may or may not happen. You see a lot of young kids here at Old Trafford, right? In all the leagues, right? Whether it's under 23s, the 18s, and everything. Their behaviour, their standards, what they've got to do, where they can and where they can't go, right? Set in stone, and they have to keep getting reminded. How come then the captain of Manchester United didn't follow the rules? Clueless.
Yeah, from another point of view, Jason Swartz, to be honest, Harry has been respectful to the club. This fan base is so toxic towards him, and it's really sad.
Harry's been respectful to the club. Where's he been disrespectful? I can't see where Harry Maguire's been disrespectful, but it's not about Harry showing disrespect or showing respect. It's about a player playing for the football club, right, and improving as time goes on. He's not improving. He's just not good enough. There is no hate on Harry Maguire. There is an observation that this player and his standards have just dropped consistently. Every 6 months, it keeps going down and down and down, and that his quality does not suit Manchester United, and that our manager does not see him as a team player going forward in any way whatsoever. And what you do see with Harry Maguire now, everyone else has bent over backwards, and Harry Maguire is now not compromising. Some people may say that is a large ego and an arrogance. I'm not saying that, but some people will.
Just going to go a little bit off topic. Anything you want to discuss, though, out there, on Harry Maguire, anything else, get it in the chat. We'll discuss throughout the video. But, yeah, the match officials against Wolves, they've all been dropped for the next lot of fixtures. Obviously, it was down to that decision with Onana coming out of his goal, rugby tackling a couple of their players, something. Yeah. What's your overall thoughts on it?
Well, it's funny, isn't it? The big scream and shout. It's Man United again. Monday Night Football. Everyone in the media, absolutely, they had a dream. a dream, everything. United played bad, Onana does that, United win, should have got beat, the amount of chances what Wolves had. A media's dream last night, but doing the rounds this morning, I've seen the same thing. A Wolverhampton goalkeeper do the same to a Leeds player, and nothing was said. So it just shows you, as we say, whatever Man United do, the media jump on it, and they've jumped on it, and these officials have copped it, and it goes on all the time in the Premier League. It's right through football. Goalkeepers doing that, and they don't get penalised, okay? But it's Man United, and absolutely the TVs, the radios, the papers, you name it, the lot, jumped on it like you wouldn't believe. But I don't expect anything else from the media jumping on it. And these officials, really, they've been sacrificed as far as I'm concerned. Lambs to the slaughter, because it goes on and on and on. But unfortunately, they were refereeing the Man United game. Any other game, no one would have said a word. I'm telling you now, no one would have said a word. Not one word.
Going back onto the game, you know, poor performance, team performance, to be fair. A little bit concerned me with Casemiro and Lisandro Martinez's match fitness.
Yeah.
Now, he had a little snippet off Gary Neville on Monday Night Football with Jamie Carragher, saying that Casemiro really shouldn't be put in that position where he's on his own as that defensive midfielder. It shouldn't happen. Now, for me, when I was watching Casemiro at times last night, his positional play was all over the place. I've seen him sometimes in an attacking midfield role or out on the left wing when, listen, if you're the only defensive midfielder, mate, you need to just stay in that little box there while Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes try and do the thing which, you know, they got unstuck them two as well last night. Yeah,
well, they all got unstuck. But Casemiro there, what's the alternative? Gary Neville never give an alternative. He never give an alternative. What do you do? Do you have Casemiro playing there and then put someone else there with him?
We don't want two holding midfielders again, do we?
Well, we've had Fred and McTominay, and everyone out there, right, has never ever liked that combination. It's never worked, and it shouldn't be that way. So what is it? Casemiro, just stay in your position. But they weren't fit. They clearly weren't fit compared to the Wolverhampton players. And everyone else didn't seem up to speed. They had speed for 90 minutes and came at United. After 15 minutes of that game, reflecting on it, right, Wolves realised that Man United weren't up to it and weren't capable of fighting and chasing for the ball, whether that was going forward or chasing them.
Due to the match fitness.
Due to the match fitness, the fitness level.
So what's gone wrong there then? You know, you look at the pre-season, so let us know what you think. You know, has Eric Ten Hag and his staff got it right in terms of when he has or hasn't played these first team 11 during pre-season? You know, obviously going to America, Dublin, Norway, etc. There's a lot of travelling involved. It will take its toll on some of the players. And, you know, you've come back there, Casemiro, Martinez, for me, just don't look bang at it like they do. And they're massive players for Manchester United, these two.
I don't think anyone looked bang at it last night. I don't think anyone looked up to 100% ready to start the Premier League.
I'm going to say something there. I thought Jadon Sancho, when he come on, and he has done, he's looked lively.
Yeah, no, listen, I said it last night. Jadon Sancho looked lively in the summer, and he looked lively for his cameo role last night. So take it into isolation. It was a cameo role. Okay, that's what it was, and I praised him for it. And his job is to work hard and get in there and move people out. But I look at it this way. People out there, I've seen people criticise, oh, it's United's pre-season tour, go to America, this, that and the other. Man United have been going on pre-season tours to Asia, around the world, for 25 years. So for this to become an issue that they're not fit, I don't think it's to do with travelling round to America and other places. Something was clearly wrong. They're not right at it at the moment. Whether they've had long enough to do it, I think they're staggered the way they come back, the way it's done. To me, it seems half-hearted, and I would prefer everyone to come back on the same day, the same energy, the same commitment and everything, not staggered through.
There was some internationals after the season ended as well.
Yeah, but it's like they were, to me, it's like they're coming back, right, and then walking down Carrington like that. I'm back, high-fiving him, going, hey, I'm back, and all that. It shouldn't be like that. It should come back as a group, act as a group, be taught to as a group. Now, at the end of the day, does the coach have to repeat himself to 3 different groups?
You're talking about the coach, Eric Ten Hag, it's his, well, He's not been long here at Manchester United.
12 months.
12 months. You know, will he look back on the pre-season and maybe change things next summer and think, well, you know, there was some mistakes that we possibly made as coaches in certain selections on pre-season? Do you think there will be tweaks?
I'm not sure if he'll look back on the pre-season, because I'm not sure whether that's the excuse or the reason. I think what will happen, I think the next 3 foot, by the time we play Arsenal, if the standard of fitness, them levels don't rise, and that the players put an application in higher than what they did yesterday because it was poor, I think then they will look at what's going on with each individual, right, and then look at the pre-season. But they must find the problem first, and I don't think travelling around is the problem. Maybe there's too many games.
Is it just a case of players having to just get used to playing with each other? It's the first game of the season. You know,
no.
Sky Sports, they're talking about Casemiro, etc.
No.
Is it just that they're not getting used to each, like Mason Mount, Bruno, Casemiro,
no,
etc. Playing a new style of play as well?
Casemiro doesn't play left midfield, left wing. Right, and he was wandering out, so it's not, not, you know, it's not a new style or anything. What it was clear to everyone. My eyes, I seen with my own eyes what was there, and it was a lack of chasing back, a lack of running, a lack of like awareness of what to do. It's as though like some of them, well, most of them had lead in the boots. They were incapable, some of them, of running in a straight line. They were incapable, some of them, going behind the defence. It's like last year, I made a criticism a few times that when a team defended, United struggled to get behind them. But what the difference last night was, United struggled to get behind them, but Wolves were so easy to break through Man United's midfield, right, and escape the clutches because players were incapable of chasing back. There was a clear lack of match fitness when you look at Wolves. So why were Wolves fit and not Man United? That's what has to be looked at. Yeah. The blame comes later. And I think 3 or 4 games, if it's not changed on the pitch, then there's a big issue and it needs sorting out.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Some good points there. Diving back into the chat, and cheers for your super chat, mate. Sounds
Thank you very much.
But Phil Maguire isn't that intelligent. Feels like he's being misled by his management team and being told he is something he isn't, and we did discuss that as well earlier on. And do you have your comments on it?
Yeah, we did discuss that earlier on, but I don't think it's a lack of intelligence. I just think that this is the way some footballers are nowadays. And like I go back, I don't know whether you missed the conversation earlier on. It's not about playing football now with Harry Maguire. It's about money, and common sense and everything else just walks out the window. They don't see how they're being ridiculed because you're a footballer. Go and play football. Well, no, I'm a footballer, but it's all about money. And that's the difference. We as supporters, right, want them to play football, want them to get on, want them to move on. We want what's best for Manchester United. But they're not interested in all that now. A player like Harry Maguire, with the way his career has gone, he's not interested. It's all sound bites about playing for England or what to play football, this, that and the other. It's just sound bites. And the reality is, the man of his age and where he is at his career, it's all about one thing, and that's money. And you might have missed that comment earlier on, but I've just reiterated it.
Yeah, just diving back into the chat, get your thoughts and opinions in, please. Zane says, why are people underestimating Newcastle? Why didn't United and other go for Isaac, the centre-forward, and Trippier, the right-back, etc.? Cheers for your super chat, mate.
Trippier, good player at Newcastle. Think he would have stayed there anyway. We missed out on him. Isaac, not long been there. Good player. I, for one, have never underestimated Newcastle and will never underestimate him because I know where they're going to get and what they're going to aim for. He's got a team there of fighters and they work, I call them dogs of war. And that's what they were when they were struggling. And then in the January period, when they made the first couple of transfers when I was there, he transformed the attitude. And it's attitude on the pitch what helps more than a lot of things, to be honest with you. You get the attitude right and the work rate right, and that's what he got at Newcastle. And I've not seen that change. I've actually seen it improve. Yes, they won the other day, 5-1, right? But I go back to last year, and I said it last year, Newcastle will be up there. Yeah. And people haven't reckoned...
He was a sleeping giant.
Yeah, I said it was a sleeping giant. And people have dismissed him of getting into the top 4. And that's a big, big mistake. And there is challenges coming, and Newcastle will challenge.
Yeah, just diving back into the chat. SK, not a pen, he was mid-air. This is on Onana. Hasn't got jets to control himself mid-air. They both jumped at the same time. The other lad is like 6'8". Like Onana, the way he jumped, it was like he's bolting out of a window. But when you're coming out like that, you've got to get something on the ball.
I agree.
You've got to.
Listen,
surely, let me know your opinion out there. But
I agree. But the problem with it is when a Manchester United goalkeeper does it, the media and everyone highlights it. Okay, and to me, it was a pen. But the thing is, it's never given. Very rarely is that challenge given. So yes, it was a pen in the eyes of the law. I thought if you give a pen, I've got no complaints. But I didn't want him to give a pen because it's never given, very rarely given. So at the end of the day, it wasn't a pen. And the officials have suffered for it because of the backlash from the media and everyone else when they totally ignored the same challenge from any other goalkeeper from another team. So it's the Man United abuse again, and we've only played one game and we've won it when we shouldn't have won it, and thank God we won it. And it's great because what's come out is the media, the hate from day one. So pull your pants up and strap yourself in. There's more to come.
Yeah, there you go. Diving in the chat, McCypher. He says, Bruno and Mount exposed Casemiro last night.
They all exposed themselves. Yeah. I didn't think...
Is it a case of like certain players were having to cover other players because they weren't in the correct positions, positional play, and then exposing their own positions, having to cover for each other kind of thing?
I didn't see a lack of authority on the pitch. That didn't help last night. When you talk about Mount and Bruno exposing Casemiro, Casemiro is a world-class player. He's won it all. He's the ultimate professional, right? I didn't actually see him engaging with the team and pulling him back and pulling him up for the mistakes and screaming, come and help me, or move here, move there. I didn't see it. Yes, we've got a captain in Bruno, right? But there's professionals out there, good enough people to have 4 or 5 captains out there.
Yeah, you're spot on.
Okay, so I didn't see Casemiro being the ultimate professional and giving advice, asking for help and telling players what to do. So there was a lack of that, which, as the game wore on, resulted in more of a panic, which then resulted in an absolute unbelievable amount of chances by Wolves. Many of us have never seen at Old Trafford before, by a team we all expected to beat, not comfortably. I thought 2-0 would be a fair result against a team who's lacking in strikers, who's lacking in class players, what they've sold. So I thought a comfortable win. But as the time went on, the players deteriorated, and that authority with Casemiro and the other players was lacking, and it was clear to see from my point of view.
Yeah, diving back into the chat, get your thoughts and opinions in, guys and girls. Neil Marshall says, lucky we were playing Wolves last night. A top 10 team would have put 2 or 3 past us, and yeah, apart from their finishing last night, they would have scored 2 or 3, especially that Mateus Cunha. The way he was driving through our midfield at times, it had 2 or 3 chances as well, didn't it?
Yeah,
just him alone.
Listen, I dread to think if a side would have come at us, and you say a top side, but the thing is, it's the first game of the season. Would that top side, right, have been as fit as what they will be in 2 or 3 months' time? We'll never know that, but what we have to say is thankful for small mercies that it was a Wolves side who have gone through absolute carnage in the summer. The manager, the players selling, no one coming in. So we was very lucky that it was Wolves. Everyone's favourite, one of the favourites to go down is Wolves. But that game...
But then players last night for Wolves, they had to impress. They've just recently got a new manager. First game of the season, they all want to impress. Whether that's to be in the starting 11 for the rest of the season or even still try and get a move out of Wolves with 2 weeks remaining in the transfer window.
You're correct on that.
Everyone always ups the performances here when they come to Old Trafford.
Yeah, but you're correct on that. And people have forgot that these players were going out there to fight for their lives to get a place in that team on a regular basis in front of a new manager. So a lot of people out there have actually forgot where the hunger was. The hunger was from Wolves. And then like I said, after 15 minutes, right, the hunger was getting more because they were getting the space, they were getting the ball, and their type of football, the way they were playing, it was easy for
them to maintain that standard for the rest of the season, though, when they're probably only going to be relying on roughly 12 to 13 players that they've got currently in that squad if they don't bring players in as well.
I think what it is, you look at the style of play and the way they played it and at the tempo and that, yes, it'll be difficult to keep that up for 90 minutes, right? And you might get injuries. They've only a small squad, so it will be difficult. So they will have to win a few games. But United let them, no, they never let them. United weren't capable of stopping them playing football, no matter what. And as the game went on, the more and more United fell back.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with your point earlier on about match fitness with certain players with Manchester United. We need to see by that, let's say, Nottingham Forest game, their match sharpness levels a lot more than what we've seen last night. Diving back into the chat, get a couple more questions read off before we go. SK, cheers for your super chat, mate. Give Wolves some credit, set up 5 versus 3 in midfield and only press when we played to the full-backs. Marcus Rashford dropping in to help midfield or ball-carrying centre midfielder. For me, I've always said Rashford is always better going that way towards the opposition's goal, but only when there's space in behind their defenders. When it's tight in that defensive area, he does struggle, Rashford, and maybe Eric Ten Hag's maybe got to look at something away to Tottenham. Maybe bring Jadon Sancho in as a false 9 in that centre who can drop and play that better role than Rashford can.
That may happen because at the end of the day,
maybe Rashford on the left-hand side. I don't know. Let us know your opinions going into the starting 11 on that game against Tottenham.
That may happen because at the end of the day, if you don't perform, you're not in the team. That's Eric Ten Hag's philosophy. Yeah. So the options to change are clearly there. And as people have said throughout the summer, and we've said on here, and we just said it before, Sancho has looked sharp, but he's only played a cameo role. So is there an opportunity, not just for Sancho, there might be opportunities coming down the line in the next game or two if people don't improve, because Eric Ten Hag will make changes if you're not performing.
Yeah, last chat, Colin McMenemy. Always a great informative show, lads, and cheers.
Thank you very much for that, mate.
You for your super chat, and thank everyone else for getting involved in today's chat. There's one or two aren't happy with what we say. I think
that's
one of
fine.
them's not happy because you went against his opinion earlier on today, but he stayed with us throughout the show. And, cheers for staying with us, my mate, and getting your opinions.
Well, that's what it is. And we like to give our opinions, but we accept other people have got opinions as well. And we don't go into one when people...
He actually likened us to Talk Sport, which is absolutely crazy. But, you've all got your opinions out there. Thankfully, the majority of people who watch and get involved, I don't think would think that. I think they know our passion about Manchester United. Sometimes the rose-tinted glasses are a bit too strong with us, but we're passionate.
We don't look for a row. We look to talk about what we see in front of us and try and give our opinions on it. And anyone's opinions differs from ours, that's fine, because what it is, we're football fans talking to football fans, and that's the difference than many, many other places.
Yeah, we're all Reds together, and that's it. All have different opinions, and that's what's great about it. Last comment before we go, Mick Cypher. If it was a top 4 side, would it have been 1-0? Probably not, mate.
A top four side would have, I'd have expected a striker or two.
Well, we wouldn't have won that game 1-0. It's simple as that. The opposition would have bagged 2 or 3 goals if they would have played the similar way to what Wolves did.
I think any decent side last night with a striker or 2 strikers, we'd have been in big trouble from half-time, because it would have been... I don't see how, when you look at that fitness, how we would have been able to fight back from a deficit. So luckily Wolves didn't score, because I don't believe, looking at that game and the way the players were with the fitness and the way they looked at and run through the game, I don't think United last night would have been able to come back against the Wolves side if they'd have scored a goal. I just don't see how they did it, because Wolves knew that they could attack and then quite easily get back to defend. That was the funny thing about the game. They seemed to be able to get back and defend without any problem whatsoever.
Dubsy says, but you crucified Dwight York for having an opinion. Yeah, and quite rightly so. That was our opinion.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about, whether we crucify him or not. That's an opinion.
Yeah.
You have your opinion, like we say.
Dwight York gave his opinion. People agreed with it, people didn't agree with it. That's what it's about. A conversation about what you think and how you interpret what you see with your own eyes and use your brain with. It's just the way it is, my mate.
It's not a bad one to finish on this. Ant, cheers for your super chat, mate. It says sign Ivan Toney in January.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent thing to work on, to sign him. But unfortunately, the Ivan Toney, no one can approach Ivan Toney. No one can discuss football with him. He can't go into the club, he can't train with the club officials, and no other club is allowed to go near him. Now, when he goes back in January, would it be the ideal thing to turn around and say, right, we've put a bid in, there it is, we'll pay you now, and you can come to us in the summer? That is ideal.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I'd just like to, well, I was going to leave it there. Dubsy's back in. Cheers for your super chat, mate. But you crucified Dwight York for having an opinion. Yeah, but it's our opinion in what we said about Dwight York. That's our opinion.
We crucified him.
We didn't agree with him, and yeah, you might say we crucified him. I won't say we crucified him.
We don't crucify anyone, we just tell it straight, and we're always right. Without opinion. Just like everyone else, when they give their opinion, they're always right. So when we give our opinion, we believe we're right. So work that one out. That's the way it is in the world.
Yeah,
but we can't all be right, can we?
Yeah, I've got to be honest though, mate. I don't think Dwight York would take too much notice of what
he's not bothered.
I don't think he's too bothered.
He's not bothered.
If you find out he is bothered, let us know. He can come on here and we'll tell him to his face. It's no problem.
No problem whatsoever.
But yeah, I'll go back to where I was going. I'd just like to thank every single one of you for getting involved in the chat today. I've not even been able to keep up with it, to be honest. Your left eye's north,
been
right
great.
eye's south. But I'd just like to thank everyone for getting involved, building a great community here at Webby and O'Neill channel, some great opinions in as well. And if you've enjoyed it, I'd like you to smash a like on the video.
Yeah, smash a like. We'd appreciate that. That'd be great for us.
Yeah, if you don't like it though, press the...
No, there's none of that anymore.
Is it not?
No, it's just the like button, thank you. We've changed. It's just the like button, thank you. And share it amongst your friends.
Okay. Yeah, you better outro than me, to be fair. You should do it more often.
I will do.
But yeah, if you've not subscribed as well, think about subscribing as well. It helps the channel. And we'll be back on Wednesday with another video. So
yes,
hopefully we'll see you there. But you enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll see you again soon. Much appreciated, everyone.
Thank you very,
big thanks to everyone.
Thank you. Big thanks.